Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, without further delay, please join me in welcoming the 11th President of the University of Guam, Dr. Thomas W. Christ. And I'll invite our team leads to please make their way down as well.
Buenas and Hafade, Todos Hamsu. We're so honored to have so many distinguished alumni and other leaders present, and so delighted to have so many faculty, staff, administrators, and students who've carved out some time today to be here. Strategic plans help institutions take stock of where we've been and help us to imagine our future. UOG has come a long way since 1952 when we were founded as the Territorial College of Guam in Quonset huts in MTM. In 1960, we moved here to Manilao. 1963, we were accredited for our first bachelor's degree. 1968, we started our graduate program and were recognized as a university. And we celebrate the charter of that establishment on Charter Day in 2 weeks' time. In 2001, we had what I like to refer to as the revolution of 2001, which changes to our shared governance structure, our institutional autonomy, the Regent Nominating Commission, and we also took very specific steps to step up to our accreditation standards with the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, or WASC. In 2010, we had our previous strategic plan, which featured the Good to Great initiative under the leadership of President Underwood. That program saw consolidation, reduction of 25% of our academic programs, increases in efficiency. We figured out what we can do. We had over 200 action items in that plan. And some of the results of that plan included the foundation of the Research Corporation of the University of Guam, RCOG, which as of this year has helped us to attract and manage $17.4 million in really distinguished federal research grants. That's a remarkable figure and a remarkable achievement. This includes grants from the National Science Foundation, the National Institutes of Health, and a number of other distinguished federal research sources. These grants support Chamorro language preservation, environmental sciences, marine biology, agriculture, healthcare, education, management, and quite a few other fields. In 2016, the Good to Great plan helped us achieve our 8-year reaccreditation with WASC, the first time we'd ever achieved an 8-year reaccreditation. We've also, in the past year, had our record graduation rate and the highest number of degrees awarded. UOG graduates have received prestigious postgraduate scholarships, such as the National Science Foundation Scholarship and the Truman Scholarship. Those are ways that verify the quality of our program. Our graduates also tend to stay in Guam, and they build us all up. And for those who go on to graduate and professional schools off-island, they excel there, having been superbly prepared here at UOG. And they tend to come home to contribute to their home islands and societies. So where are we now? UOG alumni are in leadership roles in every corner of the economy, society, government, and culture of Guam and all of Micronesia. UOG's economic impact on Guam is $213 million per year. That's 3.6% of the gross domestic product of all of Guam. UOG created 1 of every 27 jobs in Guam. 88% of our purchases are made locally with local vendors. UOG generated $1 of every $13 of GovGuam tax revenues, which is a total of more than $47 million in tax revenues, which is more than $20 million more than we received in appropriations this year. Besides the extraordinary economic impact and the human capital impact and leadership of our students and alumni, what else makes UOG special? Well, we all know that we're the only university in a 2.9 million square mile area. We also have the distinction of being the only American public university that is directed by its sponsoring government to serve people beyond the jurisdiction of that government. We are directed in our charter to serve all of Micronesia. So UOG is Micronesia's university. And we're really one of the only institutions that actually thinks of Micronesia as a unit, as a whole. Our island wisdom stretches across Guam and the Marianas to all of Micronesia with their indigenous cultures, languages, and sustainable lifeways that are valuable in and of themselves. And they are also the cultures and island wisdom that can help teach the world and address our common challenges. So what's next for UOG? Thanks to our strategic planning committee and the input and feedback from our entire Triton community and partners beyond campus, our Para Hulo plan builds on the Good to Great initiative and the hard work of our employees over decades. We are committed to moving ever upward, seeking a flourishing community across Guam and Micronesia. We're committed to realizing the full benefit of a flagship land-grant university for Guam and the region. You'll get more specifics on each of the 6 strategic initiatives in our next session in the room behind you, but let me just highlight a few elements of these initiatives. Being recognized as a serious research university means that we want to rise in the rankings to show the world that we're a university of the highest level. And something called the Carnegie classification system is the way to get that recognition for our status as a research university. During this 5-year plan, we'll prepare to qualify for elevation from our current status as a regional comprehensive university to the first level of research universities. The 2 big criteria for this are research funding and doctoral programs. And in terms of the research funding, we're already 3 times more than the threshold for being considered a research university. So we're way overqualified on that scale. The other criterion is, of course, the doctoral programs, and that's what we need to work on to be able to qualify for this higher level. And I think of it as really catching up with ourselves. Leading as a partnership university really means fulfilling our promise as a land-grant university. Land-grant universities are famous for the robust partnerships they make with their communities. And one way to be recognized for this rich partnership character is to secure the Carnegie Community Engagement Classification, which, like the Carnegie Classification for Research Universities, involves meeting a set of standards to prove ourselves and then applying for that recognition. The student experience is really at the center of both of these goals for research and partnerships. Providing stronger advising, tutoring, and close interaction with faculty in research projects are all key elements of the Para Hulo plan, as is expanding student activities and leadership opportunities, internships, learning communities, and other educational practices that have been proven to improve student outcomes and success. Our plan includes making specific improvement also in operations, new facilities, including the School of Engineering, the Student Center, the Cultural Repository, as well as buildings to support international programs, research, and environmental sciences. We'll build on our achievements in diversifying our revenue with grants and contracts, fee for services such as water testing, public-private partnerships such as the shrimp hatchery and new residential halls, and corporate training and English language programs. And thinking of UOG as a model for operations and infrastructure, for revenue diversification and maintenance, and for customer service and student support are all foundational elements of the Para Hulo plan. At the end of this plan in 2024, which coincides with the arrival of the WASC team for our next accreditation evaluation, so at the end of this plan, what will we look like? The world will notice the excellence of our education and research. Guam and the region will think of UOG first whenever they seek a partner to address a challenge or to pursue an opportunity. More of our students will succeed, more of our citizens will be well educated, and more opportunities will be realized. UOG will be more widely recognized for its professionalism, for the quality of its facilities, and for the effectiveness of our operations. And we'll be making an even greater impact on the economy, the culture, and the quality of life of Guam and all of Micronesia. I'm really so pleased to see so many people involved in developing this plan and so many employees here today who provided feedback and ideas. This rotunda full of people is representative of our colleagues currently teaching and working in classrooms, labs, and workspaces across the campus and across our research facilities across the island. We all here really are. This is the University of Guam. And a university really is just people. We're all educators and we're all learners in this great learning institution. Prospective students and visitors judge us by how friendly and helpful we are, how knowledgeable and supportive we are, by how professional and cared for our workplaces are. So as we move now, to keep up the movement theme, as we move now to the room behind you for the next phase of this Ever Upward event, let me leave you with the idea that the University of Guam is a bright jewel in the crown of Guam. We are skilled partners in addressing every challenge we face in Guam and the whole region. And we are committed to moving our university ever upward, para Hulo, and promoting island wisdom for ourselves, for the world, and for the future. Biba UOG.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.